Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. It's Adam Ratliff, Adam So Fun, and today we're cutting triangles because I have to make another one of these quilts. What are you up to? Sorry I'm late. I know it's a few minutes. 4 to be exact. Oh, I gotta go say I'm go live on Instagram. I always forget that. So what have you been up to? Some of you were with me last night. I said surprise. Now today it's gonna be Adam Cook So Fun, or whatever. What is it? Cooking So Fun. Cooking So Fun with Adam So Fun. Let's see, what can I do that? So I'm cutting triangles. I need to make that. I'm using my favorite Quilter Select ruler. Love this thing. This is the essential triangle ruler. I've got to move my screens a little bit. Perfect. Good. Love it. Yes. Yes. I got my lights on. I feel like I had to shove my face. I have this standing appointment like on Tuesdays at 11. I don't know why I don't ask to change it to 10 because it makes life easier. But after the appointment, I had to go get dogs. Hey, Bryce. I had to go get dogs treats. Left the dog treats. Came home, had to walk the dogs. And then I was like, okay, I have 10 minutes. So I had to eat lunch. I had these little pot stickers. Delicious. They're from Costco. But as the pot stickers were cooling down, they should have cooled down one more minute. I didn't have the time. I'm running around getting things ready for the live, which is like move a table, get things. I'm totally going to trip in the middle of this. Don't make fun of me. I am doing the live with my friend Mickey today. There she is. There we are. Oh, I love this cup. If you didn't know, that quilt in the background of this cup is mine. Hi, Carrie. Adam's so creative. I love it. I am working on this quilt. I wanted to show you the magic. I got a new iPad at the beginning of the year, and I love using like Procreate. And in my mind, I'm going to be one of those, they call them iPad girlies who like, not blog, but do their, what's it called? Planner and all of that stuff. Hi, Pat in Wisconsin. Do the planner and everything. And I want to do that. What I'm currently using it for is to track my schedule and be able to keep some important things for work in there and stuff. So it is working. But last night, after I made that delicious soup, golden chicken soup by Here's Your Bite, I was like, I'm going to go buy a recipe book so I could have a digital recipe book. And then I realized this morning, whenever I almost bought it for $9, I've already bought it. I just had to install it. So have I put a recipe in there? No. Am I going to? Yes. Whenever we're sitting around watching TV. Hello in Australia. Good morning. It's 1 o'clock here. I think daylight savings. I think you guys are 6 hours behind us now. Actually, 6 hours behind us, but a day in front of us. That's the crazy thing. Hey, Carrie. Carrie, every time I see your name, I smile, and then I think her quilts are perfect. Hello in Missouri. I might be in Missouri later this year. I'll let you know. Lori, I still got to get back to you. I thought like that video for Lori needs to come out. I almost made it come out yesterday because it's a green quilt, and I didn't. I got too much. This has been my life. One day it'll be more like this. So, but I wanted to show you because I'm cutting all of this, right? And so I like spreadsheets and things. I can't show you the spreadsheet because it's on the computer and I don't want to get into there. But I basically went through, and this is my secret math on colors and how many of each color I needed in each line and everything. But I really wanted to use my new my iPad because again, iPad girly and all. So let's see what it's called. I hope nothing comes up. So I'm using GoodNotes. So in GoodNotes, you can have a bunch of different things. Like this is my new recipe book. See my recipes. And let me show you. I'll show you my first recipe. We'll go to dinner recipe number 1. It's blank because I haven't put anything in there yet. Don't steal my recipes. Let me empty out of my recipe book, and I don't need the cover. But this is my new quilts book. So this is my cover, and it says quilts, and it's pink because I like pink. And this, to me, I just think I'm so cool. So this is my, let's see. Can I make it bigger? So this is the layout. Because in my mind, that makes sense to me. I need one orange. I need, it tells me how many. There's my little key. What colors are what? Yes, Ocean Mist is M and not O because I already had a letter. But whenever I'm pulling pieces, I know how many and of what color I need. And I color coded everything. I don't know. I think that's right. Hey, Stephanie, we need to talk about when we're going to get together. Wrong Stephanie. Just kidding. I just saw Stephanie. What tablet? This is an iPad Pro with Good Notes. I also use this, and I don't have any on this computer, but let me see if I can just take a photo. Let me do this. This is what I use. Don't allow. I don't need you to know where I am. One moment, please. I need to go behind the screen. Bum, bum, bum. Da 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 da. So I also use this with an app called Procreate. So what I did is I just took a picture of the quilt behind me, and I can open it in Procreate and add a new photo. And now that picture's in Procreate, and now I could go in with a pen or whatever and say like, okay, I shouldn't have done this because now I want to custom quilt this and I just don't have time. But I could audition designs and then draw them all out and see what it's going to look like. This is how I plan my quilting now. I love this for that. What am I doing? I'm probably straight lining this quilt behind me. It's going to hang on a wall. That's going to keep it nice and snug, nice and flat on the wall. But one of the things I really love my iPad for. I trick how you invest my head and I need an iPad, especially for Procreate. Savannah, just get it. He won't ever know. Just get it. He won't ever know. Secretly take money out of the account until you have enough and then get it. He won't ever know. And then when you see it, go, oh, I won this at the last shop hop. There was a raffle. They'll never know, right? Yeah, I just bought it. I actually just got a new cover for it because this is like the Apple magnetic whatever, and I like it, but I want a cover on this. I dropped it the first day I had it. I dropped it and took a little, you see that little shiny part on the corner? I need a cover. I know I need a cover. I'm a cover guy. Okay. So yeah, I don't know why that came up, but there's my iPad. Oh, I was showing you how I could track. I actually need that back up. And then also in the spreadsheet. So I made a spreadsheet to see how many squares and everything it was. And I need 228 triangles plus all of the corners. And so I was able to do I know that this is 19 triangles across. So as I was filling in one orange, one yellow, one lime, one violet or whatever, I knew that I had 19 because I made the column over here some, and then the column at the bottom. And now I know I need 150 white triangles for this. And then it's okay, well, how many strips is that? Because I'm doing 6.5-inch strips. So I took that 150, and then I found out I could get 9 triangles per strip. So then I took 150 and divided it by 9, and I need 16.6 strips, which means I need 17 strips. But then I took 6.5, or I took 17 strips times 6.5 divided by 36, because I need to see how many yards I had to make sure I had enough just to start with. That's a lot of math. I used to be an accountant. I love it. Okay. Okay. I love it. Okay. But I'm not done cutting. I had to iron some white. So we're going to cut today. We're going to cut, and hopefully I don't, good thing there's extra fabric. Also today I will be eating some of my sticky candies from Australia. If you ever go to Sydney, you have to go to Sticky. They are so good. The rest of them are at the studio, and I haven't been there. It was so windy last night, you guys. Oh my gosh. If we were somewhere else, they would have said we had a hurricane. It was so windy. I should have went to the studio to see how dusty it is inside, because I need to put new window stripping in. But I am going to be using my Quilter Select 60-degree triangle set. So I have a 60-degree triangle, and then I have a left and a right. I'm really only using one of these. It's solids. I don't care if one of them's upside down. But also, we're going to be talking about the new Starbucks refresher. This is the Blackberry Sage refresher. I feel like I need to put it, it's going to sweat everywhere. I need another cup. One moment. Today, the cup is brought to you by Classy Creations. Yes, it is sparkly because they know me. They will not be on today because I think they're at Disneyland, because it's Valerie's birthday. Happy birthday, Valerie, wherever you are. I did get a Train to refresher because I had stars. And why not get a $7 drink for free instead of giving a $3 drink for free? So cheers to saving money. Oh, that's good. I highly recommend. Sorry, I had to get that out of the room. It's gonna get sweat everywhere. So I will be cutting triangles today while we chat, because I've got to get this quilt done so they stop asking me where's the quilt. But I can't cut with you on the table, so we're gonna put you up here. If you have questions and stuff, you know where I am. So you are currently going to be put on my Omni table. You're very high, and you're angled at the wrong angle. So let me move these books to make you flat, and let me turn you this way. I think that's gonna work. Testing, testing. How do I look? I look stupid. Great. That's what I was going for. Okay. I'm so camp. I'm so stupid is what I am. You guys, you know what? Life's too short. Be dumb. It's more fun. That Fierro says something like that, right? If you watch Wicked. I should not have said Wicked, because now it's going to be stuck in my head. I can't wait for the second part, because I like the songs in the second half. Although I don't know how they're going to make the second half. You guys, the second half of Wicked is not good. I mean, it's good, but I mean, all of the excitement happens in the first half. So I really don't know how they're going to make it work. Fingers crossed. I don't, you know. I am, like I said, Quilter Select. I got to get my fabric. I do have my Laura Star on, just in case. Now, I think I bought like 13 yards of this white, which is nice because I'll have it in the future. I hate using white, in case you didn't know that also. It's so boring. I mean, it looks good in the quilt behind me, but it's just like blah. But I do find that as I cut, things start going off. I always try to cut a straight edge. And then, so I'm going to cut a straight edge at the beginning. And then the rest of it, I'm just going to assume that I'm cutting straight. I know what assuming does. You don't have to tell me. Okay? But that's how Adam So Fun works because it's just a quilt that's going to be auctioned off. This one's the auctioned off quilt. But I do always, whenever I start cutting, cut a straight edge. And wow, I knew that last piece was a little off, but in my head, I'm like, oh, you're quilting it. You can fudge it. Also, I wouldn't recommend cutting towards yourself. Don't be like Adam So Fun. Do things correctly. I'm just scared my computer's going to fall off that. Oh, you can see my batting roll. Now, this used to be in the shower, but I had to move it out of the shower because Mickey came to stay. And I haven't moved it back to the shower, but now, like in the mornings, I take showers in the shower. So I don't have to wake up in. When I'm traveling, not every day. I think I need 3 more of these. You guys, I lost my paper. 1, 2, 3. I also needed 17, so I put those little dash marks down there. And as I go, I just kind of mark off which ones I need. I should probably move that down. I'll need that in a moment. Okay. Any questions? What are you guys up to today? What are you working on? I hope we're all doing something fun. I'm going to try to get through the whole live without making a mistake. For those of you who were with me last night, thanks for joining my cooking channel. I did have a few messages this morning saying, please continue this. So I might do like a cook. I love to cook. I love to cook. Oh, showers are great. Showers are just like, why not use them for something other than showering, especially if like they're guest showers. They don't need to you can have stuff in the guest shower until somebody comes, right? The Modern Quilt Studio Mystery Quilt. Ooh, that sounds fun. Ooh, rock and roll concert t-shirt quilt. That would be fun. Lori is doing embroidered seatbelt wraps. Like the things that go where your shoulder is. Yes, I'll take 2. Thank you. Donation quilts. Just finished 2 more donation quilts. So you're going to do 27 or you still need 24? Savannah, I'm trying to follow. I hope that doesn't mean you have 25 more than you need to quilt. You might be there all day. Is there a group of people? Michelle, I feel like you've been cleaning forever. Oh, no, you were cutting last night, so that's good. Hand sewing. LaDonna, how are you? Please tell all the girls I say hello. Let's see. Cleaning out stuff, storing my son's room rack. I mean, oh, you get to see your son for spring break. That's fun. Unless you don't want to, then I'm sorry. So you're going to learn, Linda's going to learn how to use rulers. Love that. Tony's on a Judy Niemeyer quilt. I really love that. Which one? Still learning the new long arm. Yeah, there's always something to learn. I feel like I'm always learning stuff. Starting a necktie quilt. I love that. Oh my gosh, 50 donation quilts. That's amazing. I gotta get my things. Got to get my accessories. That's the wrong triangle. LaDonna, do you guys have snow? I'm lining up my triangle and cutting. Carrie, the amazing digitizer, is digitizing. Oh, you guys are all doing stuff. I love it. When you buy solids on Connecting Threads, are they the same on both sides? I usually buy Kona, but it's shreddy that I think I need to try something else. So Randy, I'm just going to be very honest with you. Connecting Threads are also very shreddy. They tend to peel really bad. Let me take this. I'll be right back. Sorry, I'm back. I should have said talk amongst yourselves. Sometimes I just have calls I can't take on the line. The funny thing about that is that, oh, Jungle Magnolia, love it. I gotta scroll up. Let me fix this. This is gonna stress me out. I wish you knew. So the computer's on my Omni table. So where my hand is, that's how tall the table is right now. It's one of the Classic Creations table. It's actually the one that holds my AccuQuilt. But yeah, very high. So one of my friends called me earlier and I said, I'll call you back. So I called her and I left her a message, and then she called me back, but I was busy. So I called her and I left her a message, and I said, at 1 o'clock, she's going to call. And right at 1 o'clock, she called, and I answered on my phone because I was filling up my water running in here. I said, going live, call you later. Also, at the end of this live, if you're still here, remind me I need to call Verizon and the dog place. I need to call the groomer. Okay, Tony's making Jungle Magnolia. Love it. Can't wait to see it done. When you're done, text, or not text me, but tag me. Post pictures. A chromatic wedding star, Judy Niemeyer. Oh, I love that too. I love Judy Niemeyer quilts. I feel like I need to get one out of the box. Brenda is working her real job, work. Sunny and 66 in Cleveland, love that. Cadence Court Quilting, love that. Jeopardy Thing Song, oh, I get it because I ran. It's cold and snowing in Salt Lake City. That's cold. Is it real? Oh my gosh, it is like 75 and gorgeous here right now. I think it's supposed to get windy again though. Just got back to Florida from New York. It's sunny and 76. Love that. Hola to Classy Creations. The gardeners just walked in. They're going to spray water onto my patio. I don't know why, because they don't really spray anything off, but whatever. So let me talk about these solids. I wonder if I can tell. I was kind of trimming them. So connecting thread solids, just anything that's connecting threads in general, their specific fabric, not any of the other ones they sell, because like they've recently started selling Tilda, and they'll have Tula, and they'll have Riley Blake and Hoffman and all that. In their specific connecting threads, specific fabrics, they don't use sizing. It's still the top of the line like fabric that you can buy, but they don't have any sizing in it. So they tend to peel really bad. And I'm not even going to pretend that they don't. Like it's a fact. Do I use them? I love them. That whole quilt behind me is them. I'm going to use them again in the same quilt, bigger size. But because of that, I use like Best Press on them. I use some type of stabilizer or starch alternative. I mean, you could even just starch them, but you definitely need something because they are going to peel. It's just like, to me, like I can deal with that because the price is so good, right? But I just want you to know, especially if that's what you're leaving another brand for, that they're going to do it. If you like want one that doesn't peel, my favorite, I like Bella solids. I got to go to my Laura Star. I'll be right back, but I'm going to continue to talk. I really like Bella solids. They're the Moda ones. It's funny though, because everybody has a different story about the solid they like. A lot of people love Tona. It's a texture thing for me. I have a tactile thing, and I don't like the way they feel. I'll use them if I have to, but I definitely, there's other ones on the market that I like better. I've been opening the blinds in the afternoon so the sun comes in, and it's just freaking gorgeous. Also, you guys, that soup was so good last night. Love it. Now I've already cut the other white ones, so all my white ones are done. Love that. Let's see. Oh, love it. Loving the quilt behind you. Thank you. It's my own design. No, there's no pattern. No, there won't be one pattern, just in case you were wondering. Thank you for loving the quilt behind me and saying it's beautiful. I just finished a quilt of valor with Kona. Looks like sugar cookie with red, white, and blue sprinkles. Oh my gosh, that sounds cute. What am I making? I'm actually remaking this quilt in a bigger size. One is going to be a raffle, and the other one is going to be a hang at our synagogue. I have to go consult my map, my cutting map, and I should write how many strips this needs. So the one thing about this, see, I want to take this off and write on it. So my orange, I need 2 yellow, let's see, 2 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2 2 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2 2 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2. See, I could be a spy. I pick up patterns. So what I just did is the number of strips I need to cut from all the other colors. And then I have this sitting right here, and it can tell me. Ooh, I feel like this is the only clean spot in the room, but I feel good about it being clean. Now, can I remember which order they went in? This is orange from Connecting Threads. I'm pretty sure it's orange and not persimmon. Anytime I use them, I always think of my mom, of me and my mom playing name that fabric. That was fun. She's call me a dork. She's a dork. That's where I get it. And you know what? She's probably going to come on and be like, hi, son. How's my studio coming along? It's coming along. I need to get 2 more tables. I need to get boxes out, get fabric and things start taking over. I'm home this week, and then I leave next week because I'm going to Ohio, to Perrysburg, Ohio, to go to the AccuQuilt Academy. Super excited. And I was gone the last few days of last week. And this kind of is taking over my life because I have a deadline, which is I have to have them done before I leave. So things are coming, not as fast as I would like. But I have a studio and it's there and I can go to it whenever I want. And that's kind of the exciting part because that's what took me so long it took me a really long time to pull that trigger. But it took me a long time to find a space that was going to work. I mean, ideally, let's see. What happened? Oh, that was weird. I would have liked it to be a little bigger, but it's okay. No, I wish I could go to AccuQuilt Academy. I will report back. I'm super excited for AccuQuilt Academy. Or not AccuQuilt. Not AccuQuilt, Electric Quilt, EQ. EQ Academy. So yeah, I'm going to be there for 3 days. It's going to be a lot of fun. I am scared it's going to snow. I was telling Ben, I don't like to drive in the snow. Even when we lived in Cleveland, I never drove. Like if it snowed, I just didn't leave the house if I didn't have to. I also traveled a lot, so that's a really busy time. Like late winter, early spring is a really busy time in the quilt world. So I was gone for a lot of the really bad snows and then came home when they were over. So this one, I sent them an email. And I was like, is there gonna be snow? And they said, I'm not gonna say no. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna rent a car then. So I'm just paying somebody to drive me. I'm getting a car service because that for me makes my heart not scared. This is yellow. I think this is actually honeysuckle. The color is not yellow. They are the same colors that are on the quilt behind me. And if it, I'm pretty sure it's honeysuckle. One of my favorite colors that Connecting Threads makes. They do have 200. No, they don't. 100, maybe 100. I should know how many solids they have. I use them all. Now that's gonna bug me. Because is it lemon? I don't think it's lemon. I'm pretty sure it's honeysuckle because it's like a pale yellow. It's not really bright. Trying to find a color that matched the colors in the logo of our synagogue was not easy. I'm gonna go press this. I'll be right back. And I do need corners on this one. Let's see. Learn a ton to share. Oh, you better believe it. Have you seen AccuQuilt's new design software? Oh, I haven't. They have a design software? How do I not know this? I was just with a bunch of them for, they were in Australia. They did not tell me this. Like to design quilts? Or is it the AccuQuilt software? Now I'm getting online. Or is it the add-ons for electric quilt that AccuQuilt has? Main Easy. Are you sure that it's not the add-on additions to EQ for the AccuQuilt? I don't see anything that says software. Let me see. If you're talking about the, I started advertising it. It looks like it's so I don't think, Michelle, I think if you're seeing what I'm seeing, they are blocks. Oh, wait, no, AccuQuiltable design software block maker. What? That's interesting. I'm going to have to talk to them. Yes. Weird. Because they have, I mean, they just did stuff with electric quilts. Oh. I'm going to have to get to the bottom of this. Thank you for showing me that. Car rentals are so expensive. Yes, they are. Belinda, you definitely need an AccuQuilt. I love mine. So here's the thing. There goes my dog. Now, what you don't know is that they're spraying off the back patio now, and the dogs can see them. How many of these do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4. I need 6 total plus the 2. Yeah, that's interesting. That is very interesting. The software. I think I was starting to talk about something, but I got distracted. Oh, AccuQuilt. I love my AccuQuilt. I use it all the time. I was actually talking to Mickey, and I was like, oh, I got to go cut things. She goes, you're not using the AccuQuilt for that? And I said, no, because I don't think I have the right size. The thing about like this ruler is I can cut up to 8.5 inches. I might have a 6.5 inch die or 6-inch finish die, but I don't think I do. Maybe in my 12-inch block set. But there is a die that will do the 60-degree triangles. It's in the, it comes in the angles addition to the sets. But I also don't know how I would fan fold these to get the most out of the strip. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. Perfect. So yeah, I'm just using the ruler, and I'll tell you this, I don't cut them straight. I've definitely found that doing this thing on the back behind me, because there were times when I'm like, what was I doing? What was I thinking? It seems like to be EQ, they're going to have to be in line. Let's see, quilt, advertising. They sent out an email this week that said they're coming out with new software. Oh, I don't open my emails. That's funny. Belinda met Mickey in Daytona. Oh, I love that. I have an AccuQuilt. Used it the other day to cut 4.5-inch squares. Love that. Did you know they're coming out with a cube set that is 18? I did not, but I know I'll have it. So I have the add-ons. So I have the AccuQuilt add-ons for electric quilt, and I really like them. They did a really good job. I think the most important thing about them is that they took the time, and I think this is Lori. She's the one who kind of devised them, because I bought them I bought one of them previously from the person who kind of had digitized them all for AccuQuilt, and she was selling them off by herself. And I'm taking a class from her, actually. She's one of the teachers. They're done really well. So it's like, this is how AccuQuilt works, and these are the size blocks that you can make, but we can make different sizes by adding sashing or doing X, Y, and Z. And so she has a README file, and that README file is super important because it shows you what size the block is going to finish. Because just because you have a 12-inch cube, some of them are going to finish at 20 because you're doing your 12-inch cube, but then you're adding sashings and other things. It probably finishes at 18, if I'm being honest, 4, 8, 12, something like that. So in the README files, it tells you hey, if you're using this cube, this is your finished size. And I appreciated that a lot, because a lot of times you look at something, you're like, and you're putting, especially when you're using the AccuQuilt or the electric quilts, you are just putting things in, not really knowing, can you cut this? So it's to make it so you can cut those pieces. I'm still trying to figure out why AccuQuilt partnered with EQ this fall, and now it's coming out with its own software. Yeah, that's interesting, because I didn't know they were coming out with their own software. Sorry, I have to go press. Don't forget Superior Threads. The pricing is going up. I heard it's across the board. I don't really know. You can use ASF 10 on their site and save some money. And I get a little something back too, so I do love that. I did use Superior for this. This is actually all pieced, because I couldn't find my white Pima cotton. So this is all pieced with So Fine 401. It was so good. It was so nice. And the funny thing is, I wound bobbins before, and I'm like, oh, I'll never go through all those bobbins. I think I wound 6 bobbins. I have 1 left. Do I have corners? 1. Oh, I forgot to show you the color. Here's the color. Citron? I called it lime, but I'm pretty sure it's citron. You know who would have never guessed that? My mom. Now, if we weren't together today, chatting, do you always wind your? I almost always. I almost always wind my bobbins. Um, Especially with the Berninas, I have to. On the long arm, always. I just prefer to wind my own. I always have the right color. When I was using the M8, or if I use the M8, um, a lot of times I would use the Superior Threads Super Bob Cottons, which is basically the Pima. So there were times when I didn't, but for the most part, I wind my own. And I never got a good wound bobbin until I was watching Kelly Janome one time do a video about winding a bobbin on hers. And you have to put the bobbin on and click it. So March 26th, they said they're having a live, and I think that Dime is involved. If Dime is involved, that's really interesting because Dime was just bought out by OESD. I don't know if that's common knowledge. It must be. Which would be, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And Dime doesn't have any other, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Dime doesn't have any other programs like that, unless the only other person that I know that did, there used to be this program called Quilt Pro, and then Handy Quilter bought it and then stopped supporting it, and it went under. So they basically killed it. And then R&K, Quilter Select, R&K, the Floriani, I think they're Floriani. They have a quilt, a program similar, but there's a lot of things you can't do. Like there's some really cool features to it. I ended up buying it. I got really excited when I saw some features that they could do, and then I went in and designed a quilt because I had a quilt I wanted to write a pattern for. Because I have all these quilts I want to write a pattern for. I just don't want to write the pattern. I hate writing. I'm dyslexic with letters. So like writing things, I always have to give it to Ben and have him proofread the stuff. And it bugs me that I have to have him help me. Because his life is too busy to do stuff like that. Although he would not have a problem at all. But I was like, oh my gosh, it'll write all of the cutting instructions for me. Because it did that. But I couldn't take a block I designed and just click it and put it into a different block of a different size. It didn't work like that. So I didn't use it that much because it didn't have the power the electric quilt had. And so now I have them both. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. This is a darker green. This is called Parrot. Yes, I know you want to get it just because of the color. It actually does look like the parrots in Australia. Don't ask me what they were called. It's fun seeing like parrots just flying around because they're wild. You know, we don't get that in Palm Springs. We don't get parrots. Hummingbirds. No parrots. 2, 1, 2, 1. You guys, I might be done cutting this by the time our live is done. Does anyone have any questions on anything? Ask me about Australia. Yes, you should all go. How can you move there? I'm looking into it. Oh, we loved it. Oh my gosh, it's a different way of life. For those of you in Australia, I envy you. It was so beautiful. The one crazy thing is we were in a Oh, Dime has 3 quilt programs. Interesting. I did not know that. We had to move into YouTube. Everyone needs an editor. Oh, yes. Oh, Michelle, it took me a minute to figure out who you were. Michelle, I know that I could send them to you too. The There's a lot of like, I don't want to call them tunnels, but for lack of a better word, tunnels that around like Sydney and stuff. So as you're kind of driving, you're just like kind of under the city. And so our first Uber when we left downtown, the CBD, to go to the outskirts to Liverpool where the event was, I'm looking at the guy's map. Ben was on his phone most of the time, but I'm looking at the guy's map and I'm like, those are buildings in front of us, because it was like a sky see-through view of like where the car was, so you can see where buildings were. So you could see the buildings like as we were up on a regular street, and then we went into this tunnel, and like we're literally driving under the city. And so I brought that up to somebody, and she said, "Oh yeah, too bad you didn't go under the water." I said, "Wait, what? Like you have tunnels under the water?" Because they didn't have a bunch of these things that go over what bridges. They didn't have a bunch of bridges. They only had like 2. And I'm thinking, how do people get around other than the ferries? And yeah, they just go under apparently. I don't know. We're planning a trip. We're gonna go back and actually see more. Like I said, when we come back, I don't even think we have to go to Sydney. We've done it. We've been there. We've saw not, I guess they're also weird because like the whole area they called Sydney. So like we live in Southern California, and I tell everybody I live in Palm Springs, but we live in one of the other cities in the Coachella Valley, because nobody knows where, Palm Desert is. But there, like if I lived in LA, like if I lived in Santa Monica, I wouldn't say I live in LA. I live in Santa Monica. If I lived in Culver City, I live in Culver City. I don't live in LA. And these are all cities in LA. If I live in Pasadena, I live in Pasadena. There, they might live in Pasadena, but they still tell people they live in LA. And it's just so different because that's not how we do things here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like a lot of people in the Houston area, if they live in Spring, they say they live in Spring. They don't say they live in Houston, even though it's all kind of Houston. And Sydney's very much not like Houston, because Houston's huge. But I just thought it was interesting. Things that you do. 2, 4, 5. Oh, man, those itches. What should I do with all these extra triangles? I feel like I'm just going to put them all together and make something. My quilt created, my quilt embellished, my quilt pieces. Oh, I'll have to look at those. I saw a cute Quilt Museum of Warp reproductions and thought, how cool would it be to see that? Oh, that would be cool. I did not see any quilt museums. I did, though. I did get to go. I got to judge the quilt challenge. I should go in and post some of the quilts that were in this challenge. They were so good. I'm never going to make an applique quilt. I know that. Not something I want to do. Love looking at applique quilts. Love people who make them, because somebody has to do it. It's just not going to be me. I don't even like to bind. So I always love the artistry in the things that I don't do. That's where I really get and love when I go to quilt shows and stuff. My favorite category of quilt shows is hand quilting. I think because it reminds me of my friend Jeannie, but I just love what people do. And in this quilt challenge, like it was all different techniques and stuff. So there's a lot of applique and things. One of the women, and this is the one that I like the most, used like 10 different techniques in it and had a bunch of stuff. And they were all like, tell us a story, like thing. It was cool. And it was the first time I was a judge, and I don't like giving people bad marks. And I told them, I said, everyone's just going to get 5s. Everyone gets all 5s. And she kind of looked at me like, You can't do that. And then I was talking to somebody else and they said, they're like, like these are really big prizes. I said, oh, like what? And they're like, oh, like the top winner gets a trip to Houston. I'm like, oh, I have to like really take this seriously, which I would have taken it seriously. I just don't like giving people bad marks. So then I went through. Nobody got bad marks because obviously they were all finalists. But I don't know. It's stressful. I had to leave Ben. He was fine. They also had, okay, so you will understand this because you know me. We didn't have dinner that night. It was just like, go to this thing. And so they had past hors d'oeuvres. Do I only need one of these? That can't be right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the corner. Yeah, that's right. They're passing around hors d'oeuvres. I don't even know if I want to tell this story. And they had these like these egg rolls. I guess they were. I don't even know what they were. And I had one, and they were really good. So anytime they came around, they're like, "Would you like one?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, I want one." And then it was like, "Oh, let me have 2." And then I think the people who were passing them realized I would take them, because at one point I had like 20. They were small. They were like, but she goes, I can't go back with more on my plate. My boss will get mad at me. I'm like, here, I'll take them all. I'll take them all. So I'm collecting all of these freaking egg rolls, spring rolls, I should say. And I walk over and I'm like, does anybody want one? So there's a group of people. We're all laughing because I'm just like, yeah, I'll take them. And then she came back by. She goes, I have a few left. So I took those too. And you know what? I didn't eat dinner. We had to go get Ben dinner after. I didn't. And I think she probably got a raise because I ate all the spring rolls. Sounds about right, right? That's an Adam So Fun for you. Oh, gosh. The things you'll do so people can get a raise. The food was good. But yeah, the winter quilt, everybody knew that was a winter quilt. I actually gave a different one higher points just because they were both fabulous, but she did a lot of different techniques in it and stuff. And I just thought the story, I was crying, the story. And they made us read the stories. That's the one thing, is like some of these people wrote a novella, and I don't like to read. I wanted the audiobook. I wanted to put the headphones on and be like when you're walking through the art museum and you're getting all of the everything reading to you. Oh my gosh. I think, what time is it? Oh my gosh, it's already been an hour. I'm going to keep talking until all these are cut. How many colors do I have left? I have 4 colors left. Does anybody have any questions? Ask me anything. I shouldn't say that. If you ask me something I don't want to answer, I'll just pretend like I don't see it. Oh my gosh. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, viola. This is one of my favorite colors, sangria. I think I need 2 of sangria. Of course, my iPad goes to sleep whenever I'm done. Sangria 2. Mm-hmm. Don't cut over your rulers. How's your work coming along with Nacho Supreme? It isn't not. I like Nacho Supreme. Nacho Supreme is great. Nacho Supreme probably misses me because I'm not there using it right now. I'm like, Ben, I'm going to be home and I can't even use my long arm. Um, I'm really, honestly, I told Mickey yesterday, I said, I am loving the new machine. I mean, ultimately, a long arm is a long arm. They're all good. I have to say, some people are real crazy with comments that they write down. So I put that video out about me joining Bernina. Like, here's the thing. I want to work. I want to teach. I had the opportunity to do that with Bernina because I wasn't going back to Handy Quilter. Bernina said, "We'll take you." And I had the opportunity, so I took it, which I should. I should be able to do whatever I need to live, right? People got real mad and really like rude in the comments of that video that came out. My favorite, one person called me a sellout because I didn't go to a Nova. Which I don't know why I would go to a Nova, but whatever. Another one got mad at me because I didn't tell her that I was leaving Handy Quilter. I said, well, you must be the last person on earth to know that I haven't worked for Handy Quilter for a year and a few months. It was just some of the comments. I could understand, like, oh, we're sad, like, no more videos, blah, blah. All my videos are going to stay there. Like, I'm not taking any of the videos down. Had a conversation with Bernina before I started saying, can I leave these up and everything? Because I think the choice would have been different if they said no. So all the videos are still there. I just am not making any more. They'll be made on the Handy Quilter. On the Bernina. The other thing that's funny is I've had a lot of Bernina followers for a long time. Like, I have followers that do all of the long arms because ultimately whatever I do there, you can do too. You just have to do it on a different machine. And they've never said, like, I'm mad at you for not buying a Bernina. I don't know. It just seemed very interesting. For those of you who were like happy for me, thank you. Because that was nice. And I think that's what we should be, happy for each other. But I am loving the new long arm. There's a lot to love about it. When I was teaching this last week, I actually told the shop owner, I said, it's made me lazy. And he's like, why? And I go, because I would always TOA my bobbin. I would never not put a bobbin into my machine without using the TOA gauge. Bernina actually sells them with the TOA gauge. I think everybody should have one. Drop test is great, but the TOA is so much, takes so much guesswork out of it. And I said, I don't even look at tension a lot of the times now. I will do a quilt and then at the end of it going, ooh, I never actually looked at my tension because it is somewhat auto-tensioned. And there are some times where I have to adjust it when depending, like if I'm doing different specialty threads or, if I'm using a micro quilter or something. But other than that, I never touch it. So like that border quilt, like this, let me go grab it. So this quilt, I never looked at tension. I did at the very beginning, but then the rest of it, I never looked at tension once. So like, it's made me lazy. And I don't really like that because like, I should be checking those things. 1 second. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 4, 8, 16. I'm counting. Yeah, so how am I liking? I gotta roll back up. How are you liking me? So how am I liking my Bernina long arm? I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. Again, all long arms are gonna do the same thing. They just do it a little bit different. I like the fact that I'm using a regular needle. What I really like is just changing thread. You all know I love thread. And the fact that I can do that and change colors and it's really, really quick. Oh, that's weird that the screen went off. It's really quick because it's right there at my fingertips. That's Randy says, wonder how long before I talk Mickey into getting one. I'm not trying to talk anybody into getting one. There are people out there who are like, I can't believe you're trying to sell me one. I didn't say that. I said I'm teaching for somebody. I do tell Mickey what I really like about it. So we'll see. But there were people that reached out to me before I joined and said, hey, I want to get a new machine. They were just kind of fed up with some things. Understandable. That's the right color. And asked me about them. Or I've met people like the year I was with Laura Star, met people who were like, oh, I used to have, like ran a business. I had 2 of them and I decided to get rid of my HQs and get Berninas and, those things. It's like, well, why? Tell me, talk to me about it. So it's like, oh, you get to be your own person. Let's see. That's right. It is my life. I love that. I love it when you can see excited about the new chapter. Thank you, Britta. I'm just passionate about teaching. At the end of the day, I just want to teach. I want to share my love of long arming. I used to tell people in class when me and Mickey were together, or even if I was by myself, we'd go around and like, what long arm, do you have a long arm? If you do, what kind? And people would be like, because it was a handy quilter class, they would say like, oh, I have this or I have that. And it was never like, I'm going to shame you for being here. It was like, you have a long arm. You should be excited. Don't be sad. Everybody should have a long arm. Even if you don't long arm, you should have one. So at least your friend who might want to use it can come over. They are great. If you're interested, you have questions, I'm here. I have a toe gauge, just need to get the charts for the different threads. Not all threads have they can find. So if you ultimately, Violet, I ran I only use bottom liner so fine in my bobbin, but I ran them both at like 180 to 190. The bigger ones, it says to go like 220. So if you're anywhere between like 180 and 220, you should be fine. You can meet in the middle at 200. Where you might have issues is if you're using a specialty thread, something like, micro quilter, glitter thread, monopoly, those things, they don't like a ton of tension. So if you have your bobbin too tight, you have to tighten up your top too much and it'll break it. So that's why I like 180, because it let me run everything else pretty loose. Love the ease of changing feet and the threading and the regulators. Yes, I love all of those things, Carrie. Todd would kill you. If you asked really nice, he might let you. Trade him for a cow. Loudness, just got my pro stitcher in between squeaking of the motor. It's loud, but I'm very happy. Randy, I'm glad you got your pro stitcher. That's exciting. Again, they all do the same thing. Some of them do it a little bit quieter. That has been, I know it's going on in my book. I was like, how many strips of this? I only need two triangles. This color is royal purple. It's really dark. This is actually one of the colors I love to practice long arm quilting on. Whenever I'm like, because I talk a lot about loading up fabric and actually stitching on the fabric. It's one of my favorite colors to stitch on. Royal purple and royal blue, because they're nice and dark. Cell rack fabric on the back. And use that on top, and then a bright, shiny tri-level poly thread on top. And then as you practice, as long as you like the color of thread, you can pick something out from what you liked. I've been watching Essentially Susan. I met Susan this past year. I really like her. She'll learn from you no matter what machine you're quilting on. Love that. Lori has a beard. Lori, I can't believe you met Dave Matthews. Was that your first time? I I meant to message that last night. When I saw that, I was like, when you put, I met Dave, and I'm looking at the picture going, wait a minute. And I looked at Ben, I said, is this Dave Matthews? And then I said, oh my gosh, she's a crazy stalker and has seen him 43 times. That's so, I'm so happy for you. I am so happy for you because I remember our conversation in Washington. I meant to tell you that. And I could only imagine what you told him because I met you once. 51. Okay, I actually thought it was 26, but 51's even better. I'll have to pass that on to Ben. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Congratulations. Everybody claps for Lori. 4 more this summer. Oh my gosh. Actually, I'm surprised he didn't give you free concert tickets after you told him that. I just thanks for the tips. Thank you for following. I learned so much from your videos and love your cast. Taught me the success of drag and drop. Drag and dropping. Love it. Yeah, and so like I have some ideas. Some of the like I'm gonna do some loading videos on the Bernina and everything because the bars are different. So you don't need to watch those unless you want to. I mean, you could always watch. You could just turn it on and give it a thumbs up. I would love that. Uh-oh. This is Ocean Mist. I feel like I'm on QVC. And you can even get it in Ocean Mist. You guys, I miss QVC. We don't have cable. And I know I could probably stream it. Every Sunday, back when I first started quilting, Ben and I used to watch QVC every Sunday. Because we'd watch, if you're a QVCer, in the morning with David, in the kitchen with David, and then we'd buy everything he showed us. We had more cabinet space then, and we had a set of Temptations cookware, which I loved. I thought Temptations were the bee's knees. It was fantastic, and I gave it to my nephew when we left Cleveland. No. Not Cleveland, Eugene. When we left Eugene, I gave it to my nephew, and his wife is always posting the dinners and stuff, and they have our old stuff, and I'm like scrolling through, going, oh, it's showing me one of my posts from back in the day. It's always her, but I still get to like see my old stoneware, my old Temptations. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's only one strip. Why does it say 2? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 2 of my colors mixed up. Only need 1 strip. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wrong color. I marked the wrong color. So yes, I love Temptations. And I just saw a picture of somebody with a Temptations mug. And I'm like, oh, that's Temptations. And it's a mug set that has a little lid that you put your cookies on. So it warms your cookie up while you're drinking your coffee. Get me an affiliate code for Temptations. I'll sell that crap. I loved it. We had all the bakeware. We didn't want to move it to Cleveland because it was heavy and you pay by the pound. I'm sure I have these right. I hope I have these right. That's right. Because then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 strips. Okay. Do any of you have Temptations? I miss QVC. I could buy anything I wanted to spend hours watching. We would do that. Are you coming to Kansas City in June for the regional quilt convention. I don't think I'm going to be there. I'm not sure what's going on with shows this year. I would love to be at more, but I just don't know if I'm going to be able to. And I liked that show. I had a good time last year. Or not last year, but 2 years ago. There's been some recent changes with things. So I'm not really sure what's going on in some areas. Shows are one of them. But I think I will be teaching in Missouri. In I need to see what the invite was. I just got contacted to maybe come to Missouri that first week of October. So I will let you know when I know for sure. I am teaching in Washington in next month though. If anybody wants to fly out to Washington and come to Annie's quilt shop, I was laughing because I was talking to Kelly Janome, and I'm teaching at Annie's quilt shop in Shelton, Washington, which really there's nothing there. I'm staying in Olympia, but you can come out and take classes with me. But Kelly Janome knows Annie because she also sells Janome machines. And so I'm like, wait, I saw you know her. So it made me laugh because we all know the same people. Especially when there's shops that have multiple brands and things. Let's see. Are you teaching in Utah? Not that I know of, not yet. I would love to. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on. I don't know. The one thing about joining a program at the beginning of the year, like it really takes a few months to start getting booked on things because, these shops are planning this stuff way in advance. There were times I knew when I was with HQ, I knew my schedule pretty much for the year, like the major things, I knew it by January. I knew what was going on, kind of where I was going to be. There were some last minute things that would come up, but like nothing really crazy because people want to get on the schedule and they want their pick of educators. And, they do all that the earlier, the better, because then they know they can advertise and get all their stuff ready. So towards the end of the year, I have more events than I do now. Also, I think we might make Cooking with Adam a weekly thing. Maybe bi-weekly. I don't know. I have to say, well, it's always dependent on where Ben is. That's the problem. What's he doing? When are you going to be home? Are you going to work out? Am I going to work out? No, never. But he does like to go ride his bike or run on the treadmill. I need to press this. I'll be right back. And I didn't tell you, but this color is called teal. Oh, Carrie says weekly. Carrie, you should say Todd. If Adam does this weekly, can I have a Bernina? And he'll say, when you sell all your other ones. Did I even show you the color? Teal. It's funny because it's like the only one that has a normal color. Because everything's like honeysuckle. You know what color I really like? Persimmon. It's an orange. It's a very dark orange. I just think it's so pretty. I love orange. I don't think people use orange enough. And it's a very hard color to find, like in thread and stuff. You might get one or two of them, but like you never get a lot. Oh my gosh, this is my last triangle strip. And some of you have stuck with me the whole time. You guys are crazy. Let's see, 4, 8, 12. We're just going to cut the whole strip, even though I don't think I need it. You know, this is the part that takes the longest. I need to find me a man that's going to cut my fabric for me. You know, Ben probably could, and it would all be perfect. Perfectionist, Ben. Not me. All right. That was my last trip. I think I gotta go. Any final words of wisdom? Not from me. Words of wisdom. Oh, words of wisdom. At the end of the day, it's just quilting. Go have a good time. Pointing my nail. Oh, painting your nails while watching. What color? Are they gels? There's this guy on TikTok. If you TikTok, Tino Vo. I think it's Tino space VO. Oh my gosh, the nails he makes are freaking amazing. Like I cannot not a double negative watch him when he comes on. It's just so good. So dumb. I'm dumb, not him. Yay. Yeah, there's a lot of things like I TikTok is such a time waste, but then there are things that I love, like Here's Your Bite. Love that. What else? Ooh, Fig. I like that. Todd just got home, as you said his name. Oh, Todd Bernina. Birthday present, Christmas present, anniversary present. It could be the present that lasts for the next 4 years. You know, when my parents had their 50th anniversary, me and my brother brought all of the call Verizon in the dog place. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Michelle, I can always trust you. Hold on, I gotta write that down. Let me tell this story. Oh, my wheels aren't locked. So when my parents had their 50th anniversary, we were going to surprise them with the party, but then they were like, "Oh, you want to do a cruise? Let's do it." Dogs, Verizon. So me and my brother rented a house on the beach in Long Beach, and it was Ben and I, my brother and all his kids, my nephew and his wife. Like we flew them down and everything, and my parents. And it was not an inexpensive thing to do. So I told them, I said, I don't think you guys are getting gifts for the rest of your life. But I also told them to stop buying us gifts. Like, I'm more of a gift giver than a receiver. Like, I love giving gifts to people. And so like when I buy it. Probably shouldn't, but I do. And then he gets mad because he didn't get me something. I'm like, it's fine. I don't need it. Speaking of, there's a Louis Vuitton purse I want. Not purse, but a wallet. I need to text our girl. But okay, I gotta go. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. We might be cooking next Monday night. I don't know. We might do cooking, but I will see you on Tuesday. Hopefully, I'm over in the studio. It depends on how far these get. At some point, they have to be bound, and I'm not looking forward to that. That's like the worst part of my life. If I can, Ben will do it. But we will see you in the next one. You guys are awesome. You know how to get a hold of me if you ever need anything. Message me. You can message me on Facebook, message me on Instagram. You can email me, do all that stuff. Love you guys. At the end of the day, it's just quilting. Go out and have a good time. I'm going to get to quilting. You'll see a lot of pictures of these coming out as I make it. All right. Bye, guys. Mwah.